welcome to the 5th race in the Hillbilly Grand Prix series. I always say Grand Prix series. About to get started here. I am in the trail rider class, and here we go. So I'm not really a quick takeoff kind of guy. I don't know. My mentality is that in this class, a group of people, oh, there we go, slide right by. There's generally somebody that is trying to ride beyond their limitations, and they're going to end up sideways at one point, off the trail. Who knows where it's going to go? And it didn't take long for it to actually show up here. There's our first one. And I got to tell you, pretty much for the next hour and 40 minutes, when I came across one of the guys in my group, that would be kind of coming up behind me, and then I would end up passing them, and then they would pass me, and then I passed them. I think I started in on this on 7th, came in at 7th, then went to I think 5th place, and then 5th place, and I ended up coming in 6th overall. But that's just simply because my goal on this ride was to hit it nice and smooth and steady and to not go down. I did go down one time on some wet grass, but it wasn't because I was going too fast. So really my focus for the whole ride was, how can I do this ride at a steady pace, keeping good weight on my foot pegs as to manage that, and to look forward consistently instead of looking down at my fender. And I really felt good at this race that I accomplished that. I did a practice race prior to this run, just so I had a basic idea what's going on. Didn't do it too fast. And then I think I hit like 33, 35, and 32-minute laps. So fairly consistent with that. A couple fun stuff here as they come up. I'll go over them with you. I did like the fact that they had multiple passing lanes. So when we had a fast guy, there's another one. When we had a fast guy going, it wasn't too bad. How do they say it? You're never going to win the race in the first 2 minutes, but you're definitely going to lose it. And there's another one. The good news is after about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, we pretty much split up and separated. People that were going to pass. People that were there weren't too bad. So for the most part, over the hour and 40 minutes, I think I only maybe had 10 or 12 interactions where people were either passing me or I was passing somebody. So, all right, here we go. So far, of the 3 races I've done, the 100-miler, Peace Valley, and this is OldField, I think this was my favorite. Had good single track, good off-camber turns, a couple places where you really had to stay focused or you're going to be in trouble. I think we had basically 3, maybe 4 fun little hill climbs. Nothing that was impossible. I got stuck on one of them one time, but other than that, it was really nice. Well, lost momentum there. Well, maybe I got stuck twice. Unfortunately, got blocked up here pretty good, but this is probably one of my more favorite. It was nice. Come on, buddy. Get out of the way. Come on. Get a little traction. There we go. Nice. Good. Yeah, I gotta tell you, when you lose momentum, it's crazy how that impacts you overall. so I ended up doing, I think this is the first race I had that I was fast enough to actually get a third lap in. The last two, I only did 2 laps into it. So I ended up getting a third lap, which was really nice. Because normally I end up getting called at 2. We had right at 16 official riders. The funny part is I counted 18 at the line, but according to the final rules, we had 16 on there, and I ended up coming in 6th place. So I thought that was pretty good. Granted, we're all trail riders, so we're like the slowest, so I'm 16th of the slowest group. I mean, I'm 6th of the slowest group. But I think next year I'm going to go ahead and sign up on the C50 plus group. I've been looking at my times. I am 51, so I can get in that group, and it looks like I'm typically going to be right around the middle or just under the middle. So if they had 10 riders, I'd be like number 6 or number 5 consistently. So I'm going to probably sign up with them next time, just for a more accurate representation. The trail riders, if you don't know, trail riders is really just an open class. Anybody can ride, any age. So we had 20-year-olds and then me, 50. I think I was probably the oldest one. There might be an older one in the group. Poor guy. That's it. I came around the second lap. He was there till, so bike broke down, halfway through the first lap. That really stinks. You come all the way out here and spend the time, energy, and money. Had a couple young guys on the side looking fairly hurt. One guy we'll see here in a bit looked like maybe he hurt his wrist pretty bad. Another guy looked like he cracked a rib. The phantom motorcycle noise wasn't as bad this time around. You did get a lot of echoing off the hillsides, so every now and then you'd hear something, but it wasn't quite nearly as bad as the last couple races. Hit some sapling or something there. Almost threw me off course. This was nice. I really enjoy this. This was fun. Quite a few people end up getting tossed off, but man, I love that kind of little bit. I love that little bit. I think that was my most fun little hill climb there. I don't know why. I just really enjoyed it. Not a lot of routes to take you sideways. A few rocks here and there. But boy, this is probably one of the cleanest single track I've ridden this year. They did the congratulations or thank yous in order to the landowners, by the way. Thank you so much for making this available to us, and for the trail prep people. It's my first time riding here as well. From what I understand, I think last year they went in reverse. Really enjoyed this. And I didn't break anything this time on me or the bike, so that's a plus. So all I had was my $40 entry fee and my $50 plus numbers for this bike, so $55. Oh, this was a fun little turn. Yep. Whee! These don't look like much, but I gotta tell you, when you've got rocks underneath hidden leaves, you just gotta look up and go and not worry about what's in there. I learned that at St. Joe. You just ignore it. And just go. Lighten up the front a little bit. Have fun with it. It doesn't look like there's anything there, but it's chunky and loose. Hey, don't go there. Don't make that joke. Fun little run here. Little turn, and then we got another turn, and then another turn. Little grassy section. Boy, grass always scares me. I've gone down too many times on grass. I remember when I did the Indiana dual sport Buffalo 500, man, I went down hard on a turn on grass. And I actually go down hard on this one here in a bit on some grass. This guy, I kept thinking he was going to pass me. There he goes. There he is. Good rider. I don't know, man. That's someone I'd like to kind of follow. He had good form, good overall performance. I still struggle with standing up. It gets tiring. And I don't know if I've got the wrong bar setup on my bike, or I'm just out of shape, fat, and old. But keeping that attack position's tough. We're about halfway mark here. I think we're about 13, 14 minutes in. I think the first one took me around at 33, so we've got a little bit longer to go here. Hang on with me, guys. If you like this, keep with it. If not, you probably left already. Man, looking at the times on the A-class riders, holy crap, man. Even the B riders, how much faster they do this. You got someone doing a 15, 18-minute lap. Oh, this is a fun hop. Boom, every time. There's a little edge of a rock there, but man, that was a fun little hop. Oh, this poor guy goes down here in a bit. I got lucky when I did this ahead of time. I knew coming up here was a little slippery hill, so I had kind of a pre-warning. This was his first go, but on each three of the rounds, the guy that was in front of me, I had two of them. Someone was in front of me on this upcoming spot, and both of them ended up doing the same thing. The other thing that I thought was real cool, watch. So when you get to ride with other riders, well, you get to see kind of some of the differences in how they think and they ride. And watching the B class, because we had B, actually I think we just had C's. Watching the more advanced riders move, and actually then when I was watching the B riders on film from the other guys doing this, here we go. We're right about. Is this it? No, not yet. I'll get to my point. Hang on. Oh, here we go. So again, 2 lines come down right off to the side. Whoop, there he goes, just like that. So, one of the things I didn't think about, we had one of the the guys in the fast group on the 3rd lap. They pick lines that I would never even have seen, and I don't know where that comes from, because like, dude, they're flying, and they'll just go off course and pass your ass, and I'm just blown away by that. Oh, here, this was the tic tac. No, not yet, not the tic tac, where the trees are right on top of each other. But that was a fun little lap. We're right up to probably the hardest hill that we had, I would say. And they had 2 lines on this one. I did both lines depending on where we're at. I only picked the left one here because the guys were jamming up. I actually liked the right line a lot better. I did that my 2nd, 3rd time around. But yeah, so these faster riders, man, like, they pass in areas that I would never have thought of passing. Like right here, they'd have gone around me to the side. Whereas, I don't know, for some reason, I'm still fixated on the fact that I have to stay on this track. They talk about staying on the track, but the reality is when you get past, that's how you do it. So in most of these situations, I'm not fast enough, and when I get behind someone, I just putz behind them until either they make a mistake or they get out of the way, which, I'm not revving behind them, so most of them don't get out of the way. So I just got to wait till they make a mistake and then pass them. One of the guys on the 3rd ride, he came in right behind me in the rankings, was way faster than I was, but he kept running off the road. Running off the trail. So I think like 4 times I ended up repassing him just simply because he lost control. And if he just slowed down 2%, he would be a whole lot faster rider, but he just seemed to constantly go off the edge. I don't know why. I was like a rabbit in the turtle story. I'd like to get a little faster. I definitely know that. But I've just taken the mindset that the focus of this year is to work on not worrying about rocks in the way, keeping my eyes focused, working on making sure that I properly weight my pegs, because I tend to weigh them the wrong way. Working on my ability to stand up. Oh, here we go. This was the slippery spot. I don't know what happened, but man, I hit this and just spun. But you can see another bike to the right of me. I hit that, just whoop, down I go. Poor kid standing there holding his hand. 2nd lap it came around, he was still standing there holding his hand. They talk about having sweepers. I don't know where they were. He just holding himself there. There went, slip again. At that point, I was like, you know what? I don't want to get hurt. I don't need to go fast on this section. So I just kind of picked the grassy part and took my time. And if someone wants to pass me, they can. I'm not getting hurt over a race that downhill. Not as slippery going downhill as it was going uphill, which kind of surprised me. You know, that once you get spooked, it kind of hard to get out of that spook. This was fun. This little crisscross over the creek. I appreciate them adding that in there. That was kind of fun. Sharp turn there. Oh, look. Man, I guess I did stall a couple more times than I realized. That one got front end, got knocked off kilter and stalled her out. Well, good thing is my brain makes me think I did better. And I clearly did. Oh, and off trail I go, because there's a rider. I don't think I'll ever be as fast as those guys up there. You know, when you're young and vibrant, heal quick. As a chiropractor, I've got to use my hands and my feet, and I got to tell you, anything that gets injured, wrist, ribs, knee, I can't pretty much work. So I've got to really take a much more thoughtful pace about when I do this stuff, because, man, you bang something up harsh and it either hurts bad all day long trying to work, or you can't do it and you don't get a paycheck for a couple of weeks. So I think that's part of the thing, is that every time I've tried to push it or race it or do something more, I end up hurting myself. So just really trying to create the consistency, keep taking the classes. I'm going to be taking one of Rich Larson's classes up in Iowa here this year. Really kind of excited about that. So I've got a little training agenda, so I don't look like a complete idiot when I show up first class. Sometimes having something to look forward to and embarrassment is a great motivation for practice. And having some fun with that. Hoping to get out this weekend, actually. Do a little bit of some moto camping and a little bit of some scouting. Hoping to finish up. I've been working on that southeast Missouri loop. It's about 1,000 miles. I've got little section south of Winona that I got to get done, popping down and dipping into Arkansas. So it'll run from St. Louis, Missouri down to the Arkansas border and back up. So I'm kind of stoked about that. Been working that on my 450. Tony Nickmeyer's been helping me quite a bit. Boyd's helped me out quite a bit. Several people actually have helped out. So thanks to Kevin and thanks to Mike. So here was a point I could go left or go right. So in the practice, I didn't realize there was a left, and I went this way. It wasn't until then that I realized, oh, there was a left and a right. So I decided this time I would do the right one, and the next 2 times I actually did the left one. I actually think the left was easier and shorter. So I don't know. It just was steeper, I guess. It was the right here, and I joined back up. Got an option. I've been looking at some of the Iowa races. I did Illinois, one in Belleville. I'd like to do another Illinois one. I've got a couple. We've got 3 series. We've got the Moore series, the MHSC Missouri Hare Scramble, and then we have the Hillbilly here in Missouri. Belleville's got a couple Illinois' got a couple. Iowa looks like they have one. Iowa's actually got a group that does hare scrambles and enduro, timed enduros. I kind of want to do a timed enduro. So I may pop up there and do one of those. That's less about how fast, it's more about how consistent. So they give you a time you're supposed to complete each section in, and it's how close you get to that gives you your points. I've never done one, so I don't know. They're talking about using, timing equipment, and geez, I'm not going to spend too much money on something that I've never done, but it'd be nice to kind of experience it. Never really done any of that type of riding up in Iowa outside of the Dirt Orca. So if you're a big ADV guy, there's a annual ride called the Dirt Orca ride. It's not bad. It's a one-day ride. Does some of the kind of the dirt B-class roads. Every state has their own terms. I don't think Missouri has definitions for different roads. We just call them dirt roads. If I'm wrong, correct me down in the comments. Or it's like Northeast has, class 3, class 4, or whatever. In Missouri, the bottom line is this. If you see purple somewhere, don't go. That's private property. I think these guys are coming in to get somebody. They look pretty anxious. All right, we've got 4 more minutes. Almost done with the loop. This section here coming up after this little climb, I think. Yeah, so this is the one section that, you really can't pass on. Keep your eyes straight ahead, buddy. I felt for the guys coming up behind me because once you're on this little trail, there's no passing, and I'm not getting off trail because, I'm too likely to drop the bike over, so they just had to wait on me. Tried to give them a wave to let them know, hey, I know you're there. I'll get out of the way in a bit, but I'm not getting off right now. And it looks relatively flat because it's a GoPro, but it was enough that I wasn't worth risking it. I'm not spending 10 minutes trying to haul my bike. Got 3 more minutes. So we hit the finish line. So this was the first lap I did. I wouldn't say it was my cleanest lap, but, it was a good one. Last lap was my best. Shortest time, weirdly enough, most energy. I think even when I go riding with my buddies, it takes me about half an hour to really kind of get in the groove. That was a little sketchy right there. Didn't look up, but that was one that you could easily go down. takes me a good half hour to get my energy. So I debated doing the practice run. I went ahead and did it. All it did was just kind of make me hungry. So had some food. And unfortunately on the second lap, my hydration hose came off and got ripped in the tail, and so I didn't have any water after this first lap. Super steep hill, really fun. I like this. Slide and ride. We are almost done here. Also wasn't quite sure when we came out where to go, so a little delay, but hey, it was good overall. Well, guys, thanks for following with me for the last half hour. I know that watching a C-Class 50-year-old rider on the slow speed go around a track isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but hey, really, the point of this is just to do something together. And if you can't get out and ride with me, I'm glad that you came out and watched with me. Hopefully you got to kind of feel some of the fun of it as well as we come up here and say goodbye at this point. If you're going to be in the Missouri area and want to do some riding, I'm a part-timer, so I've got plenty of time to get out and get to go and riding. People reach out to me, and we'll connect up on some trails or maybe down at one of the riding parks on either my 450 or my Beta or something like that. So thanks again for watching.